You
Yeah.
were cast in a very serious movie.
It's not serious. It's a feature, which is serious. I mean, there's money and real producers and real stars, and it's the first time. Usually I've been in shorts or student features, but, not a real thing with, like, real hair and makeup. And it was just very fun to do it. I mean, it is the wonderful thing about doing it at, like, 900 years old, is that I literally have nothing to lose. It's
When
like
did you
a 10-year-old
start? When did
shooting.
when did you start acting? Did you act when you were younger?
When I was in my early 20s and teens, I was dying to act. Dying.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I always wanted to be an actor. But then, no, I had to make a living, and it was New York City.
But you never ran out for a little audition or anything? Like, I'm sure you had cool actor friends,
I did.
right?
No, that was the thing, is and I never knew this until very recently. I was reminded of it, is I had a very good friend who was hugely serious about acting and couldn't act. And so there was a very competitive thing that started to happen, and I backed out. And I mean, there's no excuse for the fact that I backed out. But I know at the time I did it was I didn't want to threaten the friendship. I didn't want to threaten.
You loved her?
The relationship. Absolutely, she was like my best friend.
But not a great actor.
No. So yeah, so from way back then, it was the thing that I wanted to do most, and I only waited 60 years. Just proof it's either always
Not
too
6
late
years.
or never too late. I don't know, but anyway,
It's never. Well,
This,
the great lesson we can all learn is that it is never too late. It's just
right.
Okay, but then when in your new, like, at 50, were you like, I should maybe
No, oh no, I never said anyway that I shoulda or woulda.
not that you
or
should
coulda.
have, not that you should have, but like when
No, it was when my back got broken at that Jay-Z concert. That was the thing that changed my whole life. And I was already 60 by then, and I couldn't move. And a friend said, write about it. That was when it started. And so I did that one-woman show. And what was that? That was 14 years ago. Oh, my God. And went to Edinburgh with it. Went all over the world.
Could you explain that a tiny bit? I'm sorry.
It was a show because I was obsessed with Jay-Z.
Yes.
And I went to every concert all by myself. I spent a fortune to go to the sort of baptismal one out at Barclays, which was right across from where he used to sell the drugs on State Street. And I was up in the peanut gallery. I mean, so high at it with what do you call that thing? And with a pitch that was so steep that they've been sued like 700 times since that night I was there. And halfway through Hova, this dude fell on top of me. He was like 225 pounds. He was completely drunk, and he broke my back. And it was the first night of a concert at Barclays. It was Jay's first night. So I left on a gurney and went to the hospital, and couldn't move for quite a while. I was like a complete invalid with nothing to do. And so a friend said, you should write about it.
Wait, but did you have like a near-death experience? Did you have like one of those things that people report where they?
Well, I mean, it was near death in the sense that, I remember being on that gurney and I remember shrieking in pain, which I had never happened to me before my whole life. With him, up on that Jumbotron singing to me. And I remember thinking, the fucker didn't even send me a get well card. He didn't send me any flowers. I mean, I know that he knew. Not that it was me, but that something had happened because it was his stadium. He's the one who'd. So the first night, I'm sure he asked everybody, anything happen? Well, yeah. A woman broke her fucking back up in the balcony, had to haul her out of there on a gurney to the emergency, with the oxygen mask. And the only thing everybody in the ambulance was talking about was getting back to the concert. It wasn't like, is she breathing? Do you know, is there any obstruction? Like all of the TV shows that I'd watched. I was just alone there, clutching the mask to my nose and my face. Anyway. And like that. So it started like that.
And
then,
you got on stage for that.
Then I met you. We did improv. Then I started to do stand-up. And
So you were not interested
in movies or...
You had not re-entered you had no interest in the stage.
Oh, no.
You just actually loved
Zero.
Jay-Z outside of that.
Yeah, I was just totally obsessed with hip-hop. So it was just a way of dealing with dead time as well as, trying, I guess, something new.
I went to that show, right?
Of course I do. And you went with your friends one of those nights, which was the worst performance I ever did. You were there, I remember very well. with some of your buddies. Yeah, no, I know you were there.
I also went to that Jay-Z concert.
Oh yeah, but not the one that I went to.
I went to one of those nights.
Oh, the one
on
the
a
one
bad
out at
date
Barclays.
In Barclays,
It was pretty great.
It was amazing.
I mean, come on, that was
$200 sat second row.
Oh, what?
Yeah, 'cause I bought the
That's
tickets
all.
after the concert had started. Yeah.
Oh, after it started. Oh, mine was StubHub. Little did I know.
Early StubHub. So
Early StubHub. Yep.
So then you wrote that thing. Okay, but
So
you
then I wrote
didn't
that
have
piece.
like you didn't. I didn't actually know. I didn't put this all together. But you didn't have one of those moments. Because do you know about the near-death experience phenomenon?
You mean when you're going through the tunnel and everything's white and you're seeing?
It's
no,
not
I didn't
in-
have that. I don't think I had that. No.
Because you're gonna hate this, but that's a lot of people. It's a similar experience to doing very intense psychedelics.
Ah, here we go. Back to
A lot of
ayahuasca. Back to fucking ayahuasca. Why is it everything leads back?
No,
to
I was just
carnal
saying.
world?
I was just saying. If you had
Right.
that, then we
Okay.
have more.
We'd have more in common.
More in common.
Than we do otherwise. No, I did not have a. I did definitely not have a.
So you
near-death.
didn't have like one of those flashes where you're like, I want to do the things I never. You
Oh,
weren't like.
God, no. I've never had those moments. To me, that's right off a Hallmark card. No, I don't believe in them. I mean, I'm sure that they happen to other people, but they have certainly. But no, I think
Okay, so
part
you-
of that is the glory, really, of my life is everything has been stumbling. I've just been stumbling my whole motherfucking life. So, pardon my whole fucking
No,
life.
you can swear.
Okay. And some of the stumbles have been into great spaces that have led to other things. Some of them have been total nightmarish dead ends. But there has never been a plan. Okay? I never had a plan. I don't have a plan now. Everybody my age, they all have a plan. They're downsizing, whatever. They're moving to Florida. They're going into facilities where they're going to be 10. I'm still, stumbling around
You're here.
like a teenager. Yeah, I'm here. Anyway, so no, and this
You're
none
in
of this
my.
is
You're
relevant
in, you're
to the
in
pod.
Burrow House Creative right now, recording a
That's right.
podcast.
That's right.
But
With
fuck
Daniel
them.
Geneen.
Fuck them. Whatever.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's how it worked out for me. I know others for whom, they were much more strategic about it. Much more strategic. I've never been that.
I've never been strict. I always.
So,
I'm. A,
no,
I
no,
think
you have always
No,
been
no, I'm a
very
stumbler.
hungry. Very no.
I'm a stumbler. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, whatever. Anyway.
No, but I mean, when you have followed a path with
Sure.
with great persistence, it seems to me that
Somehow.
Well, yes, somehow. No, absolutely. Who knows whether that's genetic or what it is? But anyway, so I ended up doing the films only because somebody saw me at stand-up and then recommended me to a guy who was making a movie. And he called me in and said, could you read for this? And I did, and that was it. That was the beginning of the rest of my unrecognized,
That next stumble.
unacknowledged stardom. Exactly, the next stumble.
Okay. So you when you were 60 years old or something before that.
Yeah.
Because you were friends with a bazillion people in the arts. No one was like, oh, we're shooting this fun little movie
Oh, no.
upstate. And you were like, oh, do
No.
you have a bartender or something you want me to play?
No, that's now.
That's now. Yeah.
That's so bizarre. I mean, that's my life. All this, like I say, all these age-inappropriate friends who live in Bed-Stuy and Bushwick, they're the ones who are doing the arts in New York City. And I know some of them. And all you need to know is one of them, actually, and that makes a huge difference. So
Right.
the word of mouth has all. I don't have an agent. Of course I don't. What are you kidding? Or a representative.
probably
or
will.
I'm not in the union. I'm not. But I have a great niche, just as I did in stand-up, in that there's just nobody out there my age like me. It's you know what I'm saying.
There's no one out there like you in the world anyway.
Well, whatever, probably. But I'm just saying, in terms of playing parts.
My
I'm
friend the other day
type.
was saying that he was like, you'd get cast. He's like, you should take acting classes because you'd get a lot of work. And of course, the way for me, and of course, the way I read that was that he thought there's
What?
lots of like fucking
Character.
like the friend who's an annoying accountant.
No, but see, this is the other irony that you should consider in terms of that advice from your
I was
friend
like,
is-
I was like, first of all, there's got to be a million nerdy Jewish guys who are acting. There's no way I would have a niche. Second of all, which is fine. I'm
Well,
not.
you have no idea, though, Daniel.
I don't
The
know. But
point is,
second
you
of all,
don't
of
know.
course, the way I read that was there's no way he's like, oh, you'd be a great love interest.
Okay, maybe not. Or, not in the typical Hollywood vehicles that we see. No, you wouldn't be a love interest. No, but one of the things that I've been thinking about in terms of character acting
Yeah.
that I've noticed is that a fabulous character actor can totally eat up an entire movie in one fucking scene. Okay, but we're going to talk about flying. That's what I came here today for. I came here to talk about flying.
Are these gloves part of the flying
As
stick?
in, no, they're just, I think that the pink, I'm big into style. I think it's a nice look. But I'll move it.
No.
Something
keep
to
it
fiddle with instead of a cigarette. Flying. That's what I was talking about when we were having coffee, as in don't. And that I had a much better idea instead of doing the flying.
Well, let me ask you this question.
What?
Do you like flying?
No, I used to be terrified of flying, and I don't mind it at all anymore. No, I don't. I mean, except for right now. I mean, I thank God that I haven't had anywhere to go in the past year, dude, because it's such a nightmare. It's cataclysmic is what it is. But the thing that is ironic is that, some of these airlines have gotten so much better on the ground than they are in the air that it's absurd. That I read this article, and I came up with this idea before it was in the New Yorker, okay, which hit yesterday, is that there are people who literally go into one lounge to wait. They go into a limbo-like lounge at Air India because it's too crowded at the D1 lounge, too crowded at the Delta 1 lounge, or too crowded in the Emirates lounge. There's an airport lounge, it's got to be in Dubai, where there are swimming pools, where there is indoor, outdoor swimming pools. So my idea was you go for a staycation to like the Delta 1 lounge, and you can book everything. It's like going to Canyon Ranch, except it's at JFK. You have your pedi, your mani, you have your blow dry, you can even book a massage. The food is free, supposedly delicious. Filet mignon tips, I've heard, sushi, vegan shit, whatever you need, plus an open bar. And then what you get to do is you go there with your big open bar and your vodka and tonic, or your what is it that they're doing? Espresso martini. And you look out those panoramic windows and you watch the airplanes themselves as they land upside down. As the passengers are escaping down the evacuation, what the fuck they are, those chutes, as the engines are catching fire, as they're doing things that they're doing every day, D, that make me grateful I'm not flying right now. But yeah, I mean, it is an incredible phenomena. This concept of the one in Canada landed fucking upside down. The one in India, well, that wasn't funny. They all died except the one dude. Okay? No, because this is what I get on my feed, okay? I get endless Emirates tours of the suites, which I die for.
Dies.
Okay, well, no, but then I also get the crashes.
Yeah.
So on the feed, I don't know why the algorithm feeds me both of those phenomena, both the hideousness of the burning airplanes as they're tumbling from the sky, you know what I'm saying, with the oxygen mask and everyone praying, Dios mío, and then that copacetic tour of Singapore Air, or as I say, Air Emirates. I would like to retire on an Air Emirates flight. That's what I would like. That's my idea of assisted living these days. But have you ever seen them? Have you seen these airplanes, Steve?
So
the A380 is like it's like a cathedral that flies.
Your feed is just look at this beautiful cabin on this beautiful plane, and then the next video is that same cabin just exploding.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's they're going over the Andes and the thing, and everyone
complete
is
with
screaming.
hand towels.
That's the commute the emotional commute that the Algo
but everything
has
you
me doing.
consume is about airplanes.
It's between those two things.
Just the best.
That and. Again, I don't know how this happened. It's got to be my age. But these 6-foot earthen burial pods. Do you get any of those on your feed? I don't think so. No. Who ever heard of a burial pod?
What is that? No,
and the worst thing is that I know they're feeding me more and more of them because I keep going back to look at it again and thinking, what the fuck is this? How much do you pay for it? I don't know what it is. It's like a root bundle, versus a sheet bundle that they put you in. Yeah, they put you in, and then
a root bundle.
Well, yes, a root. It's a bundle of roots. It looks like with soil all around it. I've been buying sheet bundles because it's Black Friday, which is why
bundles.
Sheet
bundles.
Sheet. The bottom sheet, top sheet,
whatever.
Bundle. Duvet
okay,
cover,
okay,
pillowcase.
Okay,
it's a bundle.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Anyway,
root bundles,
sheet bundles, plane crashes, and tours of the Emirates.
You're getting.
C-suite.
And so, what are these burial pods? They're like coffins?
It's like, well, I told you about how trendy composting has become, body composting. So it's not that, because that's really weird. I don't want to give away too much of that because my daughter is working on that as a doc subject. But no, this, just like I said, looks like big, huge fucking ball of dirt. I don't know whether they chop you up and put you into that ball of dirt and then bury you. I don't know. I don't know whether they dig out a 6 foot, like a, what do they call those? Like a peat pod, a peat thing. And then put you in. I don't know.
And then back to Emirates, beautiful.
And then
tranquil.
back to Emirates. I get a lot of.
Planes
PJs.
Upside down again.
A lot of PJs. I have watched every horrendous crash over the past 20 years, up close and personal. I mean, it's got to be AI, obviously, right? They're not following these planes with drones as they're crashing to the earth, but. Yes, it just. I'm trying to think what else.
Well, most crashes happen at the airport.
Well, in the old days, one used to say, yes, that these days they happen everywhere. These days, you're not safe at any altitude except in the lounge, D. No, really. I mean, I don't know what happened. I do know what happened, of course. It was the way they killed off, now that sounds like a conspiracy theorist, that Boeing had all of those whistleblowers who were saying,
right.
Half the staff is drunk. They're putting the bolts in the cockpit. They don't know where the emergency chute is. And sure enough, 2 years later, all those aircraft are falling out of the sky. You don't read a lot about A30s, A3. I've become also, in terms of configurations on a flight, people call me and say, where should I sit on the A380? Where should I sit on the 737 double A?
And you say, stay in the lounge.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Stay in the lounge.
Stay on the ground.
For God's sake.
But if you go up,
book a mani-pedi.
Review it on video and send it to me.
Yes, it's a fascinating thing of modern life, between composting and flying.
But don't you have a position on, aren't you against flying? Don't you?
No, I have carbon fucking footprint.
No, I know.
Right now,
outside of that, you can compost yourself. You'll fix it. But don't you think trains are better or cars are better? What was your take that you wanted to do about this?
No, I wanted to do fuck flying.
Okay.
I have a better idea.
Stay in the lounge.
Stay in the lounge. Exactly right.
Wait, what do you think about espresso martinis?
How the fuck? Talk about a derailment. How do we get over there? I'd like to know.
You mentioned espresso martinis.
I thought it was blasphemy adding fucking coffee to vodka. I never heard of such a thing.
You never told me this.
Yes, no, but again, I think because when we were talking about the martinis, I forgot some of the ones that I particularly loathe, and espresso was one of them. It was just, these are for people who don't really drink. They just drink to get where they're going very fast, which is blitzed and off the bar stool. Me, I have one drink, and it matters. Just that one is important. So I can't imagine adding anything to the vodka. Dirty martini, filthy idea. Truly filthy. From an old olive bottle, you can have them stir it around with the pimentos that are coming out of the top of it and pour it. No. Again, not a great idea. The dirty martini. I don't know who made it up.
Sometimes they look murky,
horrible! No, they do. Yeah. They look like the juice in an olive oil bottle, murky as fuck.
Pimento. It looks like that Italian cold cut with the little chunks of shit floating around.
Yeah, I'm trying to
head
not
cheese.
Mortadella, but like head cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so there's no
not
flavors of a martini that you like?
No, not really. I like that thing, Stropino, it's called, which is ice, vodka, and lemon sorbet. Not limoncello. It's a horrible drink. This one's hard to get, but it's delicious, and that's vodka with lemon in it. When
did you first hear about espresso martinis?
Well, I live in New York, Dave.
No, I know, but is this a thing that was around 20 years ago?
Oh, no. No one ever had an espresso martini, or a cosmopolitan, or that it was like, it couldn't be more lowbrow than that, than fucking around with your straight booze. You know what I'm saying? It was the age of madmen.
Yeah.
You had either gin or vodka or whatever, neat, or whiskey neat, Scotch wheat, neat.
Right, no Monster Energy.
No Red Bull, added to the, It was a much simpler
I really don't think espresso martinis are good. I don't understand how that's become a thing.
Well, I wouldn't know because I've never even tasted
You've never tasted one?
I just watch them stirring it up and I go, ugh.
But you like espresso and you like martinis.
Yeah, but no, not together. First of all, it's completely different parts of the day. an espresso in the fucking morning to wake up and get going, and you have a martini at night to relax and like
To end it
there's
all?
someone in the door there. Hello. What's he got there?
Oh, he's Do you want to try?
No. You take it, and I'll have it.
Over ice, I can put it on ice.
Oh, wow.
Take one for you.
Okay. He really is listening.
He's listening, yeah.
They come in tins now also? Oh, my God. That's all I can say. No human touch. It's just gone, the human touch.
Wait, say that again. So you said you have espresso in the
Yeah,
morning.
no, it's the wrong times of day that you're fucking up and putting together. The espresso in the morning to wake up, and the martini at night to relax and hang out and whatever. The idea of putting the two of them together makes no sense at all. Again, I mean, what was it I said a couple of weeks ago that a lot of yous are living like geriatric shut-ins. Really. I mean, you not, because you know everybody in the eating world, but that you can't get a meal anymore after 9:15 in New York City. Why do people keep saying this is the city that never sleeps?
You think we're all asleep, eh?
Well, no, I don't think you're ever asleep. I think you're total insomniacs, but you're home as an insomniac. You're not out madly. We talked about it the last time. Clubbing, or you know what I'm saying.
Why does it upset you so much that the restaurants close
taste
early?
that.
Okay, hold on. So you're
Oh, it's so depressing. I mean, this is a city, world-class city, and you can't get a meal after 9:15. I mean, in Italy, they don't even start to eat till like 11. Spain, they don't. I mean, I don't know about France anymore, but I mean, you used to be able to go out in New York City anytime, 24/7, and get a meal. Okay. Well, now all the diners are gone, so you can't even get a fucking scrambled egg at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the only joints, I mean, you tell me, you're the one who's out all the time. What's open with the kitchen until 11:30 or midnight?
very few. Occasionally 10:30s. Yeah.
You see?
But you don't eat that late.
No, that doesn't matter, okay? It's the idea of it. This is my town, New York City, and I ought to be able to get a meal. Or I ought to be able to order in like a shut-in from Caviar after 8:30, especially, with what they tag on.
Well, the
terms of their
research
promo.
says...
Let me have one sip before
I'm
you
gonna,
do.
I have to finish this point, and then I'll give it to
Okay.
you. The research says that that if you eat within 3 or 4 hours of going to sleep, that your sleep is far less effective.
Oh. What's this, wellness? Is that what you're talking about? Wellness?
Wellness.
Let's not go near wellness with a punt pull. If you wouldn't research. Give me a fucking break. Is all I can say.
We always fight about this, but if you're not going to the restaurants, I don't understand how you can be upset about it.
Because
You
as
should
I already
then
said,
push them. Then push them.
Huh?
You should go out at least once a month. Go to a restaurant that you really love and say, "I will eat here if I can eat at 9:45."
Well, I
Start to
mean,
move the needle.
I don't think I'm going to be the one to move the
I
fucking
do
needle.
love that it makes you feel good about the city that the restaurants stay open later.
Of course. I love the thought that there are people outside. It's like when you're
Having
a
steak
child
frite.
and you're in your bed and you can hear your parents with people at dinner and you hear the cutlery and the plates and you hear laughter. And I find that incredibly comforting. Same as I do right now at like 79 years old or something. That the idea there are people out there
Enjoying.
having steak frite, exactly. Enjoying having another drink, perhaps an espresso martini.
All right, so for the first time
yeah.
in your life, you're going to try an espresso martini.
Okay.
Here you go.
And,
I will say,
foul. That's foul. I swear to God. I'll have one more sip. No. Ugh. Jesus. And is it made with vodka and gin? Can you choose your espresso
and
martini?
if you're doing custom, you can choose, I'm sure. Yeah, but this one, I believe,
We'll
probably
taste that.
probably
It
vodka.
also tastes like it has a little mocha in it to really add insult to injury. I mean, I can see why you all drink that, okay? Because you have no idea you're drinking booze. Really, that's what it comes down to. It's just, not acknowledging reality.
So gross. Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
You're checking your watch?
No, I'm thinking of restaurants. I mean, I think also that's part of the reason why McNally has made it as huge as he has, is the fact that you can go to any McNally restaurant until 11:30, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the joint's still jumping. People are dancing. You know what I mean? It's slammed. Oh, it's the only game in town. That's part of why they're there. But I don't know. Name me other.
I love this. I love the feeling of your parents eating downstairs
Yeah.
at the dinner party.
Oh, I always found that so comforting.
Yeah.
And my kids, when they were growing up, I mean, you know, parents would always say, shh, 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 you know, when we went to other people's houses, the children are sleeping. For us, you know, they
Get
were
louder.
awake. No, exactly. They were awake if there was no noise. You know, they liked the noise.
That's
they
a city
liked,
kid. I'm like that.
Yes, it's the comfort of strangers. You know, it's the fact that there's life out there, and you're sort of on the periph.
I love that so much. What restaurants are open late? It's something that you're gonna hate this, but I'm not super aware of it because I really try. A reservation to me after 9:30 is not like I don't care. I won't go somewhere after 9:30 really.
Well, you can get in anywhere. It's too bad you won't. I mean, 9:30 is the only time you can get in.
It's just too late. It's too late for dinner.
9:30 is too late at
After 9:30
35
is
years
too
old,
late.
34 years old?
After 9:30 is too late.
But you're a comic. You're doing mics. And aren't you hungry when you're done with the night and the adrenaline's gone and, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I don't love the whole, like, go sit at a diner thing. The problem is I don't sleep well, but I'm a bad person to ask because if I eat anything after 9 p.m.,
right,
I get night sweats and I don't sleep.
Okay. This again is part of how fucked up you all are. It's got nothing to do with what you're eating. It's like people who say they can't sleep after they have coffee, or people who can't eat wheat, or people who can't eat. I mean, that was the other subject that I was thinking about. Was the difference when we were at Thanksgiving last night or whatever at Nora's house. And I was thinking of these years and years and years that we've thrown dinner parties. And that in the old days, you know, when you threw olden times, like 10 years ago, you threw a dinner party. I mean, you picked up the telephone, okay? And you said, how's Tuesday night at 7:30?
Yeah.
Can you make it? And if they didn't pick up, you left a message at the beep. And they got back to you. Now, you got like 75 ways to reach out to people who never get back to you. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, it's ridiculous. You got paperless post. You got the Google invite, DMs, texting, WhatsApp, endless channels of communication where no one gets back to you. And then when they do get back to you, do you know what in the old days, people ate what they got, what the person was cooking. That's what they ate, and they loved it. Now, it's like filling out a pre-op form in surgery. No, really, I'm not kidding. In terms of what Kathy can eat and Amy can't eat and Dick doesn't like anymore. And, I mean, it's become this incredibly baroquely complicated.
Right, send your insurance information just
exactly.
in case anything happens.
That'll be next, is I will be asking people, you know, are they covered by United Healthcare?
Is there anyone you would not like to sit next to?
Oh, no, that people don't do that. First of all, you guys, you don't know how to do placement at a table anyway. I mean,
How to what?
How to
Placement?
How to do placing people. No, but it's very important, Daniel, because it's a huge pressure. I'll tell you that. When you walk into a dinner and you don't know a lot of people and no one has given you a place to sit at the table, I find it very nerve-wracking. Where am I going to sit? Is it okay? Does he hate me over here? Where a hostess, you know, who knows what they're doing, tells you where to sit.
Yep.
And that's part of the energy that comes from the meal. It's like I always love that rule. I think it was a French person who came up with it, who always said, you have to invite one total fucking bore to every party. Because that one bore makes everybody else feel like they are fizzy, you know, Grace Kelly, fabulously intriguing, glamorous, whatever.
Wow,
right?
that's probably why I never get
And
invited
smart.
to dinner parties.
Oh, why?
I'm not a bore.
Well, no, of course you're not a bore. But I know a lot of bores, so that's
So
never
do you
been a
really plug
problem.
in? Do you actually do that? Do you plug in a bore?
I would never put it that way. I'm going to plug in the bore and seat them over here. But yes, many times I invite someone who's not quite as
Effervescent?
correct.
Wow.
Quite as effervescent.
What
as
are some other
others.
tricks to placement?
Never, ever seat couples together. This is an American tradition, I swear to Christ. I don't know where it came from. Couples don't want to sit next to each other. They're together 24/7 for years or months or however long it's been. They'd like to, you know what
Or
I'm saying?
days, yeah.
Do a little flirtation, meet somebody they don't know. The number of times where, you know, I have been seated next to my husband. I mean, you want to slit your wrist vertically. It's like I didn't go out for this. I could have stayed home and had it. But yes, so that's another... You know, always separate couples. Always separate couples. Never worry about numbers. Never worry about gender. You know, if you got six amazing women, whatever, you know, and a couple of men or some theys or, you know, I mean, they just mix it up. You shouldn't worry about those things. You really shouldn't worry about those things.
What do you do if there's a very exciting person who has an allergy?
Who has an allergy? I don't know. I seat them in the kitchen. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying, like, you do believe that
if we invite 12 people for dinner and there's one person who can't eat something that Richard's going to prepare, that they should bring their EpiPen. I mean, I'm not changing the whole fucking menu for one person. I don't care how brilliant they are. I don't care if it's Zoran, who comes for dinner. I don't.
Yeah.
What else?
What about? Do you think about energy balances and stuff? Like, do you think
like chi?
No,
Feng
not
shui?
chi. I knew that would be read as a spiritual thing, but I just mean, like, let's say you have 4 exciting people.
Yeah.
Or
that's plenty, and then you can invite 3 total fucking.
Okay, let's say
bores.
4 exciting people, 4 people who are great but quieter. Do you want to put the exciting people next to each other?
Oh no. No, you have to separate them. Sprinkle liberally on the table, really, so everybody feels the joy.
Spread them even.
Because there's nothing more embarrassing or more depressing than when you're at a dinner and the other end of the table is roaring with laughter so hard they're practically crying, they're weeping.
Yeah.
And at your end of the table, it's like a fucking wake. You're at a funeral parlor, and all you can think of is what is so funny.
Of course.
What are they talking to down there? And if you're the one who's invited everybody, and you're at the wrong end of the table, that's one of those moments when you think, shit,
So is the key then to not have ends of a table? Like, just keep the dinner party small enough that you don't have...
I don't know.
But that's my favorite thing. When you try to pretend like the conversation you're having is interesting, but the conversation at the other end of the table is way better. Way better. You just kind of be like, oh, yeah, they're having. But so I was asking about,
That's right.
Yeah, your acreage in
that's right.
The Hudson.
Your silo space.
Right.
Out in Montana. What was that? That was another thing I learned recently about when you're dining with very rich people. And they tell you that because they all have places in Montana now and Utah. And they're into cows.
For wellness.
So my question has always been, so how many cows? Oh, my God. You might as well ask how much they have in, like, private equity.
Oh, wow.
You never ask how many cows, how many head of cattle.
Oh, we don't.
That was it.
We don't talk about it.
How many heads? I used to think, God, Brenda, you're so on top of it, of animal life.
How many
nature.
heads?
How many heads you got? It's the one question.
Wait, so I'm going to ask you, be a really rich person. I'm going to ask you how many heads do they clamp? So, Brenda, that's so interesting.
No, usually they laugh in a very...
So how many cattle do you have at that ranch?
They give me one of those smiles. One of those, oh, you poor slob. You don't know
so it's no
better.
different. So what is your actual net worth?
I've done that before.
So it's really the same question?
Exactly.
So that would be one of the great...
Because from that, you know how much land they own, because, a herd of cattle eats so much fucking grazes on so much property.
Because what you're really asking when you ask how many cattle someone has is
how big is it?
Well, and also, how much money do you have that means absolutely nothing to you? Right? Like, how much money do you have to spend on the stupidest thing of all time? And they're like, a lot. I have a lot.
Well, that's not true, though, because I found out, for instance, farmers grow
cattle,
a lot of pine trees.
And cattle, well, but pine tree is interesting. No, but cattle's not a bad investment.
No, pine tree is a tax deduction, period. That's all it is. So if you buy, 500 acres up in Sharon, Connecticut, where real estate values are like this, and you plant it with fucking pine trees, you're paying less, than someone who lives in a trailer. Practically, it's disgusting. You start to think of the inequality, the inequities of that.
So if you say how many pine trees you have, then they maybe get excited.
That's right. The next time I go, I'm going to say, how many pine trees you got, Dick?
Well, funny you should ask.
Yeah. That's right. Funny you should ask.
That's so fun.
Well, we have certainly been all over the place.
We've been all over the place. This has been great.
Yes, it has been great.
There's two kinds of people that listen to the podcast. The people that text me saying the episodes with Brenda are the greatest, and then the people that text me saying the episodes with the chefs are the greatest.
I bet. So you have a great world going on here.
I have.
Bipolar.
Maybe one day they'll all meet at a dinner party.
Yeah, you could throw the party.
Brenda episode fans, by the way, they're the exciting ones.
Well, no espresso martinis. I hope none of them drink espresso martinis.
This is a great. This is my. Pull the mic back for 1 sec. This is this is when you ask a bartender. I've talked to many bartenders about espresso martinis, and they're like, "Look, I don't love it as a flavor combination, but like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it good. Like I've thought about, I've rebalanced it, and I think mine really stands up. Like it's a good drink. It's a good drink. I'm thinking that's an impression of a person that I know.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good, and it's so true. But that's the thing in New York is no matter what you do, you take it seriously. In fact, you take it very earnestly most of the time. So, if you're asking about that, you get the same answer you might get from somebody who's in private equity.
Wait, final question. Can you give me, to wrap us up, Do you have a story of of a bad placement at a dinner party? Have you really screwed up any dinner party placement?
Yeah, no. I mean, I've been to hundreds. What are you kidding? Look at how old
No, I know,
am.
but a recent one that you screwed up.
Oh, one that, no. I mean, it's been a while since I've even given one.
Do you do name cards?
No, D, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. What, do you just tell people where they're sitting?
Mm-hmm. You memorize it.
Yeah, but isn't that
that's
awkward?
the truth.
No, George, we actually have you right there.
Yes. No, of course you say that, George. You know, you're to the left of Jane.
Will you whisper to a guy you're really close with, being like, "We need to put you there because this side's weak."
Most people don't care. They're very happy to just be sat down.
It's
to
your
continue
place.
with the wine and
Here's
the food.
your martini.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
you don't need to do much. That's the other thing. You know, you need to give other people credit. It took me years to learn that. You know, with me thinking, the whole party relies on me. Well, no, it doesn't rely on fucking narcissistic me. It's everybody else who knows how to pick up a ball. You know what I mean? And fill in a moment of silence and make people laugh.
I wouldn't have that
Took me
issue.
a long time to figure that out. What do you mean?
Well,
Oh, you
I'm
mean-
like the party will be good if I have really interesting people there.
So there you go. You see, you're starting way ahead of where I started.
A point of weakness.
Yes, which is always a great place to start.
So you used to be like, I'll have a bunch of silent people and
No,
they'll
Jack,
just
no, of course not. But I felt so hugely responsible for how the night went, and in this, that's a form of.
But you're so good at
narcissism.
these things. You're so.
I cannot walk into, and people don't believe me. I cannot do a cocktail party. Cannot.
It's a bad party.
cannot-
Cocktail party is a bad party.
Horrible. I cannot stand up in a room with a fucking glass of Chardonnay in my right hand, dealing with a bunch of people whose eyes are everywhere but on you, who are looking at the door.
It's a bad party. Parties are only good when you're forced into a place.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I used to get very nervous. I swear I will end on this. I used to get very nervous going to camp. I hated going to camp.
Right.
And the worst part of going to camp was you would get on a bus, and I didn't know anyone. You'd
Right.
get on a bus, so you'd be seated next to people, and then the bus would stop, and then you would do like an outing. Like you would stop at a big park or something, and they
Right.
would give you an hour and a half. And then I would dread the non-bus parts, because the bus part, at least you had people around you.
Right,
That
right.
they had no choice but to be around you.
Okay.
And those friendships built. And then the second the Expanse, you
Right.
arrived at the Expanse, they all just hung out with the people that they knew.
Yep.
And weren't forced to mingle.
See, now that is the perfect dinner party on a bus. I haven't done that yet.
You should,
I'd
yeah.
love to do a dinner party on a fucking bus. You know, one of those tour buses that I see parked at Webster Hall.
We should, and
With,
then just a very elegant and have it drive around.
I love it.
And we could drive it all the way to the airport and watch a plane
That's
go
right,
down.
Exactly right. Watch it land upside down, D. Everyone go down the evacuation chutes.
Okay, bye. Fine. Goodbye.
You have to work.
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah.